Hi everybody and welcome back to another Mullins Studios Podcast. It's been a month since the last time.
Yeah.
And not much has changed, really. Not really much.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing has changed much per se. I mean, if we had to be perfectly honest, in terms of change, I think it's been like more or less of a 5% difference, maybe?
3%.
Fair enough. Anyway.
But we decided to just take a little break. There was a few things, like I know you were sick for a couple of days with allergies.
Oh gosh, yeah. This last week has been kind of like nauseating for the most part, but ugh.
Yeah, but we just haven't really got around doing a podcast. Not to say we didn't have discussions, it's just we didn't really feel like making a podcast, even though it's been so long. We were going to try to do at least one a week, but sometimes it's just hard to do. Then again, we don't really say we have an official release video schedule, even though you release a video a day, almost.
Yeah, I admit, but most of it's just Let's Plays, so I mean, it's normal, I guess, in my case, so.
Yeah.
But, really, in all honesty, we were wanting to do a podcast, about after we went through the Fanboy Expo, but we never got around to it.
Yeah, I made a video Marshall episode about it, so that helps. But I guess let's just go ahead and start off today with talking about the fan questions first, since we got done watching something from one of the fans.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, plus it's still fresh in my head. We literally watched it like a few minutes ago. And this question comes from Kathy Ben Ackley. She asked what we thought of the Bumblebee movie, or at least the trailer to Bumblebee, a spin-off of the Michael Bay Transformers movies, which I think Bay himself has no involvement with this spin-off whatsoever.
It's kind of hard to believe that, really.
I may be wrong, but I think he has nothing to do with directing or anything like that.
That might be a good thing then, but I guess one way to know for sure, and that's to go watch it, I guess. For us, it's been a while since we watched a Transformers movie. I know the last big one that I've watched all the way through was the third Transformers
Yeah, the third one was the last one.
And there's been two more since then.
And we haven't seen them. Not anything against Bay or the people making it. I'm glad they have fun making those films.
We guess.
I'm just think positive about this. But for us, we're not big Transformers people. I know when we went to Fanboy Expo, the voice actor, or the original voice actor for Optimus Prime was there. I didn't really care meeting him, plus the line was 10 times longer than Elvira's and all that.
Oh, gosh. It reached past the concession stand.
Yeah, so the chances of those people meeting him are slim. Anyway, but for like the Transformers films, the first one was okay. It wasn't anything bad.
I liked the first one really well. The second one was somewhat dull. The third one was pretty good on its own.
But like I barely remember anything from the third one, honestly. Then again, we only seen it once, but I at least remember some parts of the first and second one. The third one, I barely remember anything about it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, when people talked about the Bumblebee movie, it just kind of brushed off in my mind, thinking to itself, it's like, it's another Transformers movie, why would I want to go see it? But then after watching this trailer, I actually might see it.
I don't really plan on seeing it still, but then again, I don't really care much for Transformers. However, I will say, the trailer at least had me like, this might be decent. I'm not going to explain everything, but from the way the film looks, it's a prequel, obviously, about Bumblebee coming to Earth and all that. But the way the film looks, it kind of has like a whole... I'm trying to think of correct words. Like, it doesn't feel as action-packed as the other films. Usually when it comes to when a new Transformer film comes out, it tries to be bigger and more epic than the other. And this one seems to take a step back. Now granted, it's just a trailer. I don't know what's all going to happen. But we only seen like two Transformers, Bumblebee and then the Decepticon. And it doesn't look like anything major or trying to be bigger than itself. It just looks like a cute film of this girl who discovers Bumblebee and then having like a little bond and such, and doesn't get to be anything majorly action packed, which I like.
I hope it stays to that course, because then this would be something massively different, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, we all know Transformers is much like, you know, the Power Rangers and other 80s type movies like the Ninja Turtles and stuff. They're all about the action, you know? There's not much of story except for their origin story, and that's about it. So it's one of those like, well, what more can we do with these movies, you know? And at least with, like, the Power Rangers, from what I know from some people, they actually make them unique, as in, like, they actually have, like, a backstory and build up to this climactic of how they work together and stuff, despite their differences and everything like that. And it's like, that's unique. But the end result is that technically they're a re-release of the 80s cartoon or show series brought into today's time, and thus cringe comes into play. Sometimes it works, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so we have to play part of, like, what do we like about this re-release, not rehash, because I hear that too much. It's not a rehash, because at least it looks like they made some effort to make them.
Well, every movie takes effort. Even when we say this is lazy, we know that there were people that worked hard in a film. There's not a film out there that no one's like, we don't care. I mean, sure, there are films that some people had to go through trying to force themselves to get through, but I mean, there's still effort going in. Even when you don't want to do something, you're still at least giving effort in to try to act out a role, trying to get the camera working correctly, or getting an effect right, all that. It all takes effort. I mean, granted, yes, it's all opinions at the end of the day, whether or not a movie's good or bad, but the same thing we gotta remember, the people making the film are people too. They're not just people that's like, oh, I'm about the money, all that stuff. They just want to try to make a film. And even though the end result may not be good or something like that, there are still people in there that want to at least try to attempt to entertain people and have fun making it, you know?
Yeah.
Whether we disagree with them or not.
But the end results towards the Bumblebee trailer, admittedly, I like the direction that they're going with this one, and I'm hoping that if they plan on doing any more, which at this point, if they did any more, I'd be afraid of how it was going to end up, I would hope that they would do more of, like, behind the scenes of each Transformer, or better yet, the fall of Cybertron type thing, you know? Because, I mean, the hardcore fans are more or less wanting to see something like that, and really, that's right up Michael Bay's alley. Record, yes, there's no military power to add into conflict or anything like that, but hey, you've got one side of the army of machines versus the other side of the army of machines clashing against each other. That's Michael Bay material.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do much except for making it seem interesting.
Yeah, but it got my interest on this Bumblebee movie. I'm not gonna see it in theaters. Plus, we haven't been in theaters in eons. At least I can't remember the last film that we watched.
Which is a shame, too. It's like, we've been wanting to watch a bunch of movies, but we haven't had a chance to
go to the theater, not really, no. But, I will probably catch it, like, if I see a rental on Netflix, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it, because it does look different. Granted, again, it's just a trailer, but we don't know how different it's gonna be. But it has my intrigue, especially on how much care there was in, like, seeing the slow, like, how Bumblebee is kind of extremely shy a bit.
Yeah, I do like how he's more rounded, you know, because of the fact that he is kind of
based on a Herbie type vehicle.
But I do like it. It gives him character.
Plus it's Bumblebee, so yeah, the vehicle model works perfect.
It does.
I think I like it a bit more. Not saying I'm not a car person, so I don't know what car was that Bumblebee is in the original movies.
I think he was supposed to be like a Mustang, but I may be wrong.
I'm not sure, but
I'm willing to be wrong.
I like the Beetle look more. It just suits him a little bit better.
It does. But now let's move on to the second discussion, which when I brought it up to you, Daniel, I can done tell we're going to enter in the same realm of discussion. But this question was brought to us by NBC Mekachu.
Hi.
How's it going? So, you're about to see Marr from what it sounds like, into a rant.
Well, not a huge rant, but we'll see. What's the question?
His question to you is, what are your thoughts on fan adaptations? His example that he brought, which is what made me think that this could be a problem, his example was Journey Beyond Sordor, how it should have been.
Oh boy, here we go. So, okay, let me make one thing clear. I know there are people out there who, most people who watch my videos know me for my Thomas stuff, which is fine. I don't make as much Thomas content, but there you go, I've just been busy with stuff. I have not watched a whole lot of Thomas fan series. I know all of my friends tell me you gotta watch Sordor Conflict, and I watched at least the first 5 episodes, and it seems interesting. I just don't have the time anymore to watch every single new fan series. And I'm not against fan series. I mean, if a fan wants to make a Thomas series of his own, make stories up and all that, that's fine. You have the freedom. But then you get these type of stories, what fan adaptations where, yes, you say Journey Beyond Sordor. I personally liked it, but I know there's people out there who hated it. Hated every single frame in the film. And there's this group of people who decided to take it upon themselves to completely remake Journey Beyond Sordor using the wooden railway models and all that stuff, and completely remake it to the version that they want to see. And I'm not against people wanting to remake a film to their own style. That's nothing. But the problem I had with it was the literally first 50 seconds. It was text. And the text says, this is the superior version that we think is the film that we deserve. Merely saying anyone who liked the original film was crap. Or saying the original film was bad and they think their film is superior version. It's like, that just, I don't know about that. I haven't even seen the whole entire thing. I tried watching it and it was kind of generic a little bit. Once, they kind of retreated some of the characters. Like, if it was supposed to be made in the continuity of the original, of the television series at the time, they completely, backwards some of the characters' personality a little bit. Like, James hating Diesels all over again and all that. I just couldn't really get into it as much. But the way that kind of irks me about it is that the fact that they were boasting about being the superior version, instead of saying, if you liked the original film, that's fine. This is just how we interpret it. But them saying that theirs is the superior version to the film that the fans deserve, I don't know about it. Granted, I haven't watched the video in ages, or tried to watch it at least.
The problem with their boasting that you mentioned is the fact that, the fan base is separated into, multiple categories. You have your hardcore, you have your casual, you have your true and blue, you have your somewhat into it, you have the people who are always looking at the good side of things, and then you have the people who always believe that it has to be in one direction and never curve the other direction. The problem is that you are not the one making the film, nor is anyone else. It is the people who own the licenses that create the film themselves. If they believe they want to take the story in this direction, that's their choice to make. If they want to take it to a completely U-turn different direction, then that is also their decision as well. And it does get annoying whenever the fan base turns sour on other medias.
In fact, that's the reason why I haven't really made much Thomas content, is because of the fan base. I'm not saying it makes me distracted from liking the show. I still love Thomas the same way as I have for years. And I am excited to see how Big World of Big Adventures is coming up. I don't expect it to be anything great, but I believe it might be something fun. Plus, some of the images, some of the CGI sets are beautiful, I have to say. But, everyone is going up in arms. It's if you don't have to watch it. If you want to make your point of proof, if you watch the film and give your thoughts, that's fine. But if all you're gonna do is just brag about the film, how awful it is and how everyone at the company should just quit, just don't watch the film. The only way that's making the film more attention is you giving attention. So if you don't watch the film, don't watch it, don't speak of it at all. I mean, yes, if you watch it and then give your vocal opinions, but fine. But, like, it's just... I'm not going to say, like, all the decisions they're making for the future of Thomas isn't questionable. There are some things that I think are kind of questionable. Like, I don't know how I feel about being much more faster paced, trying to be like other kids shows that are currently on, like Paw Patrol or Muppet Babies Reboot and all that. But, oh, there it goes, I was gonna bump. But it's like, a lot of people saying that this is destroying the childhood, and that phrase irks me so much because, like, there are far worse reboots out there. And if you don't want to watch a reboot, you don't even have to pretend that even exists. I mean, heck, I still see Thomas the same way as I have when I was a kid, you know? Even when I see the big girl being, the whole BWBA format stuff being different and all, I still see Thomas as I saw him, just this cheeky little engine who wants to make friends and wants to see the world. Literally.
and that's the attitude that every fan base should at least try to be in. I know me and my particular sense of ideal, the worst reboot that I have ever took part into, and I say took part because technically this isn't a video media, this is more of a video game media, was DMC Devil May Cry. That was, to me, utter trash. You know, you have the gameplay which unfortunately completely riffed on Nero's Devil Arm, which was the whole pull Dante towards an object, pull an object towards it. You have the fact that the graphics, and someone's going to say the extra 60 frames help it. I don't care, it looks like utter garbage. You have the fact that it completely disses the original fan base for liking the older set of Devil May Cry. That's what ticked me off the most.
Yeah, like, if the film literally said to the fans, hey, the old stuff is trash, I can understand the hatred, but it doesn't show, like, it still shows some respect of the original books and show. It's not like saying the old way was bad. Now, granted, Mattel's reason to want to do this is kind of weird, but, like, it's treating its fans with respect.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's still something there for the core fans, like seeing the different engines, like when, I don't know this type of engine, I know in one of the trailers, fans were excited when they saw an engine that is it has a different look to it. I don't know the basis for this engine, I'll give you the image for you look. But when fans saw the engine, they were impressed because it was taking an engine that has a unique design in the real world and adding it into the world of Thomas, and I think that's interesting. So they are paying respect by still basing real locomotives with characters and all, and it looks fun. Plus the character Baby for America, I like his mustache. I like his mustache a lot, so you got me there. I never thought I'd see the Disney engine with a mustache.
But, in all honesty, if I had to say that the best remake, which is kind of hard for me to say, because to say the best remake, it means that it was better than the original. And that's hard to say and do. It is. But in terms of remakes, I would have to say that I think I actually kind of like, and some people may hate me, but I actually like the Ratchet & Clank remake just a little. Not a lot, but a little. Because not only does the gameplay help it a little bit, but it helps the fact that technically they use the jokes referencing off from the original. It's not insulting it, it's more or less taking it and improving it to some degree. And
I will admit the writing, though, wasn't as strong as the first one, in my opinion.
No, it's not. But then again, considering the fact it's mostly taking part from the movie. And that's what's weird, is that they took a video game series and made it into a pretty good movie. Which is hard to do.
I liked it.
Apparently. But in terms of, like, remake, I actually like the movie and the game. It's actually one of the very few times that we can actually say and it's the only time we're going to say this, a game based off a movie based off the game.
Yeah, they made a game based off a movie based on my life?
It's like, you will never be able to push that far.
I know it's straying away from the question, though. We're gone to like a full fan saying...
But still, in terms of like fan adaptation, what are your thoughts overall?
Like, if they just want to make a... I can understand that some people who don't like the way cinema films turn off. That's fine, but that doesn't mean you should disrespect the people who made the film in their own way. You should be like, well, I don't really like some of the directions they did, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna like hate it. I want to try some different stuff to try to make something different. You know, be inspired from that film and make like a different adaptation that gives you like a different point of view, different direction or something. But don't act like it's the superior film compared to the original film. You know? It's like, I remember when we were visiting Mount West, someone was mentioning about they were going to, a fan was going to completely remake The Last Jedi because they did not like how it is.
I don't see how they could.
In fact, I'm going to I may swear this one, I may swear, but I feel so sorry for all the Star Wars people. Not because they made a film, but because of the fan base response. I liked The Last Jedi. I thought it was interesting.
I liked it too.
But I understand some of the criticism. I know a lot of people didn't like Luke's portrayal. Sometimes, I will admit that when Finn and that one girl went to that casino planet, it was a little bit pointless a little bit, but I still liked it. But that doesn't mean that just because you don't like a film, you should harass and make suicidal threats to the people who starred in the film. Like, yeah, I know that Mark Hamill didn't like how Last Jedi turned out, but maybe the other actors, like Daisy Fiddler and all the other actors who were in it, probably had fun. They had a lot of great memories with the cast members. They had a lot of fun being the characters and being in the world of Star Wars and all that. Maybe they had fun. And maybe they actually liked some parts of the script. Who knows? I don't know what all the actors think of the thoughts. And maybe they had fun and everyone has such a great connection, meeting great people and all that. So what gives people the right to go to Twitter and all the other places where the actors are, having fun and all that, and telling them to kill themselves because they made a bad movie? That irks me so much, because people do not have the right to tell someone to kill themselves because they starred in a film based on some dumb sci-fi shit. It gets me so angry because they're just people like us. I mean, sure, yes, they may be fancy, they may be rich, but we are all equal. And for someone to go up to someone and say, kill yourselves because they starred in one movie and it didn't turn out the way that they didn't want it to be, just makes me sick to my stomach.
What really irks me is the fact that, The Last Jedi, the only complaint there was that it felt too much like A New Hope.
Don't you mean The Force Awakens?
Well, that was the last one, technically. I mean, we're not counting Rogue One, okay? We're not counting that one, technically. We're talking about the one before The Last Jedi, And really, whenever you hear people talk about The Force Awakens, the actors, some of them were saying that they've watched Star Wars as a kid. And so to act in a Star Wars film,
it's an honor.
It is.
Huge honor.
They absolutely loved it, And even some of the previous actors who did roles like C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca, those roles have now been handed down to the next generation, who are now going to be acting as these individual characters.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an honor even of his own right. And when I was reading about the main character who was acting as Han Solo in the Solo movie, to know that Harrison Ford handpicked him, I was like, well, if Solo picked him, I can't question it anymore, you know? Because it's like, who else better to portray as Han Solo as someone else who knows what he's like, you know? So it's obviously, if he liked it how he put it, then chances are there's a reason.
Yeah, I mean, heck, even the guy who played Jar Jar Binks, as much as people hate him, or the character Jar Jar Binks, I think the guy had fun voicing as Jar Jar and having a good time being the character. And it just makes me sick to see people getting so angry over film and stuff. I mean, yes, I know film can really change people's lives, but that doesn't mean you should tell someone that they suck because they starred in a film that you may not like and hundreds of people did like. I just want people to respect everyone, you know?
It's hard to do that, but
I know
it's one of those things where we just gotta take what we can of the bad stuff and replace it with all the good stuff of our favorite fan bases. Because even Cynical, he is part of the Kingdom Hearts community, and this just happened recently, but apparently he talked about how there was this one guy who was creating a mod for Kingdom Hearts 2, and he basically is making a total skin of Vanitas and putting it on Sora with his own moveset and everything, and it looked really good.
Okay.
And Cynical was saying of how good it was, how cool it looked and everything like that, giving a deep analysis and how much he loved it and stuff. And honestly, I thought he was doing it just to increase awareness of these mods, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where I'm seeing Cynical going in terms of where the direction of his channel is going to be towards mods for Kingdom Hearts and everything like that. And I don't mind that. I like it because some of it's really cool. Some of it's interesting. But the guy who created this mod, apparently in a particular video on his channel where he talked about modding this character in and stuff like that, he specifically stated that he did not want anybody in the Key Keepers talking about his mod. And I'm like...
But why?
He thinks that they're going to make money off of something that he created.
No.
And I'm like,
no.
What? What? I mean, record, yes. Technically, they are making money because of the view rate. But
they want to talk about it because they like what he does.
Yeah,
and they just want to give more awareness to him so people can see his mods and how awesome they are.
Yeah, but even I was like, okay, hold on just a second. Cynical just talked about how cool your mod looks, and you're completely dissing him? Like, what the hell? And you want to know how bad it was? It was bad enough to where that guy actually talked to YouTube to have him remove his video immediately.
All because he wanted to say, this mod looks really good and I want you guys to check this guy out. Because he wants to do it because out of respect and love. He's not thinking, oh yes, I'm going to look up every type of Kingdom Hearts video, that way I can make money off it or record a reaction. He's doing this because he loves it. I mean, I know there are greedy people out there, but that doesn't mean that everyone thinks like that. I mean, if I was a YouTube partner and I saw someone's mod from, if they made like a modded version of Smash Bros. With Neptuna characters, I would like to showcase in a video, not because the views are giving me money, but because it's something I like and I want to showcase it more to people. To maybe it may increase awareness for the mods and may get them in the career in something.
Right.
Maybe to actually be part of a modding community, maybe actually becoming game designers or game modelers themselves or something like that.
Right. But technically, according to what the guy also mentioned, is that there was a comment that Cynical and the Key Keepers had mentioned, which, in all honesty, they're technically right. So you can't blame them for automatically thinking in this direction. He was stating that the Key Keepers was mentioning the reason why we're not getting a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, and by demo I mean downloadable demo.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Is because of case scenario of data miners. Data mining is a new phrase that people have come up with.
I know what data mining is. That's how a lot of Smash Bros. Stuff got leaked.
Yeah.
People go into to the data of the game, see if there's like update files or even code within the game and stuff like that. Just leaking into the game data. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Whether it be download or disk, that's just all it is. That's how a lot of Smash Bros. And Mario Kart DLC for the Wii U were leaked because of data mining.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, technically, they're not wrong. It is kind of true. Because data mining for Kingdom Hearts 0.2 has become a big thing. And while there wasn't a lot revealed, there was a bunch of interesting stuff that we know because of data mining.
Plus, not to mention, it can potentially leak out a full version of a game like Paper Mario Color Splash.
Yeah.
That actually happened. By the way, Paper Mario Color Splash, great game. Don't believe the people. Anyway.
But it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to believe that one side of the community of a single fan base hates another side of a community entirely. And it's weird, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta admit there's some truth to each individual person, but that doesn't mean you should just rightfully attack the person even though they complimented you in that same regard.
Well, I don't really see how compliment would be attack. I mean, like, even if you don't like the idea of other people making money from your stuff, just the idea of someone wanting to showcase your mod or product or whatever in the video because they like it is still a great compliment. I don't see how it could be devastating or anything. I really don't know how. Then again, everyone has their own different reasons that sometimes we may not yuck on. I mean, yes, I know you gave us one reason, but maybe there's like another reason that he just doesn't want to be like shown in front of the crowd or something like that.
And I could understand if that's the case, but he's literally showing it on his channel. You know, he's got like 80 plus parts showing the whole demonstration of this mod and everything. So it's like, he's not afraid to showcase it. And I would imagine if someone else, like the Key Keepers, where they have a bigger following, advertise this type of thing, that would increase more revenue for him, for people who's wanted to download this and everything like that, you know? It's just weird.
Yeah. It's a weird world. The fan base any fan base is weird and bizarre. Excuse me, but just focus on something happy, you know?
Yes.
Yes, we talked about much. I mean, I do have one Thomas video coming up in the near future. No, it's not Magic Guerrero reader, but we're working on it. Please be patient. Anyway, but just focus on something happy. Like, the past few weeks, trying to think here. A couple weeks ago, I was on vacation for work. I was off, and there are times when Chris had to work still, so I was home by myself. I get scared, I get kind of nervous when I sleep in a house by myself. I mean, yes, I know it's an apartment, but I still get kind of nervous when I'm sleeping alone. Well, not alone per se, but like, it's hard for me to try to sleep up in my bedroom alone when there's no one in the apartment, so I decided to do something different. I decided to get the futon, because what he's sitting on is literally a futon, and then try to play Netflix, but it's like, what should I watch? And then I saw they had some episode of The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross on it. Now, I knew who Bob Ross is. I knew he's a painter, but that's about it. I don't know anything else about him. So during the days when Chris was at work and I was home alone, and in order for me to at least get to take a nap or something, I would press to listen to Bob Ross and then sleep, and it really helped. It was incredible. And heck, sometimes I wasn't even sleeping well. I was just watching him paint, him talking to us how he's painting it and feeling very welcome.
It's like, we want to imagine this world the way you want to imagine it.
It was, I have to admit, I've been watching Bob Ross nonstop. He can tell you, he has seen me many times when he's walking down, waking up or coming downstairs, whatever, seeing me with Bob Ross as I'm editing a video.
I'm not complaining.
I
He's
know,
a really good guy.
Yeah, he is. It's incredible. His painting is like him mixing these colors and him being able to just make these illustrations that looks completely simple but yet complicated is incredible. And one of the things I love about him especially is that he always welcomes the viewers. He always makes you feel welcome, whether you're watching or like I goofed up, bother. Anyway, he makes you always feel welcomed, whether you're wanting to copy his style of painting or you just want to sit back and enjoy some tea while he's painted and him talking about his little squirrels and all that. It's really fun, and I always feel so happy hearing him. Plus, he's kind of helped me out a little bit whenever I got kind of down and out of work. It's like just hearing Bob Ross speak and all that. It makes me feel calm a bit. Heck, technically I know this wouldn't really be the case, but when we meet God, I imagine him sounding like Bob Ross.
I'm sure he found that to be a big honor.
I think I can imagine him. Then again, in my head, I can just imagine us seeing ourselves because, well, we're all an image of God. So it's like, who are you? I'm God. But you're me. Yes, you are me. Okay, what's going on here, man? Or something like that, I don't know. But I just been enjoying Bob Ross. Heck, I actually got this pop figure of the little paint man that's like in the intro to some of his later series intros is the little painter.
I thought about getting the Deadpool version of Bob Ross, but then I was like, no, that'd be weird.
No, though what's the thing that I really was impressed by was kind of like his backstory. He was in the military, obviously, but he always had to kind of like yell and stuff. But one of the things that I know that Jared told me about him was that he did not like getting angry. Even when he was in the military, he did not like getting angry. So when he left the military, he vowed to never raise his voice or yell ever again. And he would just paint because he loved painting. He was inspired by this one German painter. I sadly can't remember his name, but he was on television for the longest time. He saw him and was inspired to make a show about painting and everything, which is great. He's definitely hard to believe there's like over 31 seasons of Bob Ross Joy Painting, and we need more shows like that where we have just a guy who welcomes everyone, whether they are brand new or viewers from the beginning, always welcoming to join in. Granted, I am wanting to paint. I tried to draw back, but I have not drawn in years. But I wouldn't mind doing at least a painting or something, kind of like a Bob Ross style, maybe try doing some type of other painting. I just really like Bob Ross.
Right.
So if you haven't seen him, just go check him out. They have every single episode of The Joy of Painting on YouTube. Just go to like the Bob Ross YouTube channel and all the episodes.
He's also got a Twitch apparently, so
that's how you discovered him, wasn't it?
Yeah, because someone talked about how there was a live stream of him on Twitch, and I was like, wait, what? Isn't he dead? And it's like, no, it's just pre-recordings. And I was like, oh, okay. Wait, that's a thing that can happen?
Well, heck, have you not seen YouTube? Like, you see like a video thumbnail like SpongeBob SquarePants full episodes live stream or something. I've been seeing
that a lot lately.
All over YouTube. I've been seeing that a lot. I have no idea why. SpongeBob, Teen Titans Go, Fairly Odd Parents, like so many shows are getting live streamed.
The biggest thing that caught my eye was someone was doing a live stream, and it's still going on right now, 24/7, of the entire Kingdom Hearts series.
Like someone playing the game or something?
Yes! From start to finish. In their release orders. And I'm like...
Is it pre-recorded gameplay footage? Or is it someone's reaction? Or
Well, it's all just regular gameplay.
No audio whatsoever.
Right, no audio commentary. But I don't know how it's playing 24/7 live stream, no less. Live! Because to do that is uploading and downloading. Uploading and downloading. Continuously 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
How long has this been going on?
So far it's been going on for like 3 months, I think now.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's still going right now. It's like...
Question, do they let the computer take potty breaks?
No, because you want to know what's crazy? Right underneath where the gameplay is, it has a countdown meter for when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
So it's literally going on from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Dream Drop Distance all the way...
0.2 even.
Oh, right, 0.2. I thought of Dream Drop Distance.
I know, but anyway, your
but
point is...
all of those games, which probably takes... Question, are they just playing regularly, or are they doing 100% completion?
Playing regularly. Because as far as I know, it didn't specify 100% completion, so I imagine it's just going through the story segments.
Like the cutscenes, or just playing the game regularly?
Playing the game from start to finish, I imagine it's on the easiest settings. That would make sense. But they're playing through it, and it's just going through the story. You're coasting through the enemies and stuff like that. You're coasting through and all that stuff. You're fighting the bosses, no problem, and all that stuff. And you're just going through the story segments and stuff. And it's going through that process all the time.
So you see, for me, I usually talk about, about maybe 20 out. Well, actually, no, I was doing some Olympic Coliseums, but...
Kingdom Hearts 1, I've never done it before, like, without skipping worlds and stuff. But 100% playthrough, just playing through it, start from finish, and not completing anything else, just going through the worlds as story-based progression. I imagine you could do it in, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
8 hours, Kingdom Hearts 2, probably 20 hours.
Chain of Memories, probably be let's just say, for the sake of
8 hours.
8 hours at least, yeah.
So yeah, it's going through almost 3 days worth of gameplay footage.
Probably 4 if we had to be more precise, so yeah. But like I said, I saw that and I was like, it's interesting, but at the same time, how?
I like how you said that. But,
but...
you almost had a country accent there for a sec.
How? How'd you do that?
Well, golly! Okay, just shut up before we offend someone accidentally.
I don't think we're going to offend anyone at this point. We've already broken the boundaries multiple times.
Yeah, but it's those live streams, I don't know what's going on. I'm not even sure if they're official live streams, if Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon are allowing them, because they're free live streams with some ads here and there.
I think YouTube is allowing this just to see how well live streaming has become, because YouTube doesn't push out advertisement for live streaming. Very few YouTubers actually use YouTube to live stream stuff. And yet, from what I hear from very few, and by very few I mean maybe 5 people at most, tell me that YouTube live streaming is really good. The majority of the time I hear that Twitch is better. And it's YouTube is trying to push itself to be live streaming. Even though, to some degree, YouTube live stream isn't exactly good. Twitch is better, actually.
I thought about having a live stream, but it's no, I wouldn't be good at it. There's been many times where I try to record... excuse me. But there were many times where I tried to record myself doing a solo playthrough, before I had Tommy join on me for potential Super Mario 64 playthrough. I was going to do it by myself, and it just didn't work. I'm not good at holding a conversation for one. I kept jumping around so much. Unless I had someone there to help me, you helping me with this podcast, or Tommy with the Delmar Pals. I couldn't do a live stream by myself.
Honestly, it would be rough, but I think you would have a better chance having it live streamed compared to what I have sometimes, because you have a bigger following technically.
Well, true, but at the same time, it's I don't know if I'm really up for it. Like if it was me, myself, and I could hold a conversation for like an hour live stream, I would be jumping around too much. Heck, there's been many times where I'm doing a Let's Play recording by myself. It's like, no, I'm gonna restart, and I restart the whole game from scratch and the review, and it's not like a review or a scripted thing where you have it's not like when I do a Don't Show review, I have notes down on what I could do and how to organize it and not stray myself off. Here with the Let's Play, I don't have that luxury, and I keep jumping around, or my discussions get interrupted with the game having seizure moments with the story mode or something.
That's sort of like with me whenever I try to do the whole scripted review type stuff, because I actually tried to do scripts multiple times.
It is not easy.
Even whenever I was doing my Kingdom Hearts sequelitis, I was trying to write it out and everything, and as I was writing it, I keep looking at it, and I'm like, I don't like the script! I don't like it! I don't like it! I don't like it! I don't like it! And it's like, I hate writing scripts because later on, I hate how it looks. It's just, I can never do it.
It's been forever since I wrote a script, like even a script for like Very Funnies or Thomas Comedies. It's been forever since I wrote a script for that, because I just been having trouble with writing dialogue. Heck, I have a secret pet project I'm working on that I'm struggling a little bit, because it's literally a whole fanfic story thing with dialogue and explain what's happening. I just been out of script writing for a long time. I am wanting to continue making more Thomas Comedies once me and Lachlan get the movie done, but still trying to get back to script writing is hard. So I know some people may say my videos may have gotten lazy because it's mostly me naturally talking, not really doing much scripting or any major gags going on, but it's something that I feel comfortable.
Can't be as lazy as my work, because it's mostly Let's Plays.
We're all guilty, don't you worry.
Now, let's go ahead and jump into a subject
Yes,
at hand.
I think we might have time for one more topic.
Yeah.
So I'll let you choose the last topic.
Now, I thought about the particular topic that I wanted to talk about, but it's one of those things where it's like I could either talk about the two things that's recently been happening, or I can talk about the one that I just recently thought up of. And I figured, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a one that I just thought of, which is, what if we, as in this town, had a retro game store? Let's imagine the case that somehow someone had the gall to say, we don't have enough video game themed stores here in Crossville. I'm going to build one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So, imagine a scenario where we would have a
Let me explain, because no one's going to understand what the heck's going on. So, here in our quaint little town, which we will not mention the name of to keep ourselves safe, no offense.
It's not like people would want to come here anyway. There's nothing here.
Just in case. There's nothing here. We have a GameStop, but that's it. We don't have like a retro game store. It's not like we could go to the other town. There were 2 retro game stores that we left going. Unfortunately, last week, one of them closed. And that's the one that I've been shopping with them for the longest of time, like 10 plus years maybe.
Something like that,
I shopped with them for the longest time, and it was a shame to see it go. But in terms, we still have the one, but sadly the other store is gone. But for us here, there's not like a major game store or anything that isn't GameStop. But it would be nice to have one. Granted, I don't know where we could put it, but then again, we have too many good places to put one in.
We have a bunch of empty buildings right now. I can think of like 5 good locations that can be used for a store at any given moment in time.
Heck,
5.
we have a abandoned Ryan's that's been sitting there for 2 years that will be perfect for Golden Corral or something.
Anybody for that matter. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if the town itself just doesn't want anyone in particular, or if like no one's wanting to build a business in fear of it getting closed down immediately. But it's just one of those things where it's like there's not enough reasons to give us proof as to what's going on behind the scenes, but there needs to be more activity going on. And what I'm asking is, what would happen if we had a retro video game store here in our town, and what do we want from it? Like,
I'll be shopping there every single day. Not every single day, every week.
Every week, but I was wondering...
Heck, I'll be the first employee there! I can work part-time!
But I was wondering as to, like, what all do we want in there? Because, I mean, there are plenty of other retro game stores that are outside of our town and our state, for that matter, that have a lot of different interesting stuff inside the store itself. Like, some of them have arcade machines and stuff.
I can imagine like this. For us in this town, for our current scenario, we want to have all the fancy gears. Like, we will obviously have the systems, the selections of games and retro systems and all that. They might offer DVDs as well, just in case. You never know. But I can also imagine them also having tournaments there. Like, I remember this one store when we went to visit my good friend Challenger up in Pennsylvania. They had one section of the store that had like 3 or 5 TVs that was designated for tournaments that they held every week or something. And I thought that was cool. So I can imagine, I can think of like the mall that's right across from here that can be perfect for that. It has good space to have a huge library of games, tournament mode, crap, how did I forget? What is it? What's it called? Hot tub. Maybe a hot tub just for the heck of it.
A hot tub?
I just really want a hot tub, man.
I don't blame you, but
Can't we just install it in the kitchen, please?
But in my case, I like the tournament ideal, but in all honesty, I would like it even better if it had arcade machines, pinball machines, stuff of that nature that people love out of an arcade area.
That would be nice.
And then, I wouldn't mind it either, but having like a side restaurant type thing inside of the video game place...
That may be asking too much, probably.
I admit it might be asking a little bit much, but I mean, as an extra side to help boost up business and stuff. Because, I mean, let's face it, retro video game stores, if Game Haven was one example, I would be afraid of losing any more retro game stores. We need to at least encourage, like, a side business of some kind to help rejuvenate it a little bit more.
Kind of like how the tanning salon there used to be video rentals, but then now it's tanning because that was the startup for it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I kind of would like to see them expand a little bit.
Coffee shop.
There we go.
It's perfect for hipsters, and as long as they offer honey, I will be the regular customer. I walk in there before work, it's like, give me the usual double.
It's like, here you go. 2 mugs.
Thank you! Go, 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 go. Daniel.exe has stopped working.
Over a sauce of sugar and honey.
It has happened once. I recalled it happened once, and I don't ever want to do the Richard Janeway special ever again. That's pretty much Mountain Dew Code Red, Snickers bar. There you go.
But in all honesty, I want one in this town. I want one so badly.
Well, to be fair, the problem is with the advances of like digital technology and emulations, it's getting harder for people to get them encouraged to actually go out and buy a cartridge of Super Mario Brothers or Contra, as the prices have kind of gone up. I mean, Contra is now like $30, maybe $40, and that's mostly due to the fact it's a good game. No one's wanting to sell it, so now the cartridge is kind of going up a bit because no one doesn't want to sell a game that is good, difficult, and very, very mean, but good regardless. But it's like, I would like to have a game store. Heck, I'll make, if they do, oh gosh, I wouldn't do that. If they would ask me, hey, we'll pay you if you promote our store on your channel, I'll be all over that crap. I know what I must do, Captain.
Oh gosh, almighty.
But I think that does it for our little Mullins Studios podcast.
Yeah.
We will try to get back to making more, but we can't make any promises. So, if you have any certain topics that you want to discuss, whether they be Kingdom Hearts, Thomas, Neptune, Bloodborne related, please send any questions you want to have for the podcast, either in the comment section below, or to my personal email address, danielmullinsfleet@gmail.com. Just do whichever one, and we'll be more happy to answer some more questions and all that. So, anything else you want to add?
We will try to get another one up, but no guarantee that it'll happen next week. It'll probably will be in the next 2 weeks, probably.
There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, I need to really update the topics, because I've been dry on topics for a while.
I haven't, thankfully, but it's one of those things where it's like, when the question arises, it's like, we should probably question as to, like, do we want this or not?
Then again, I'm too busy making my own videos, so I don't have time to do research. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this. God bless you, and we will see you guys on the next Mullins Studios podcast. Bye-bye!
Catch you later, guys.